Welcome to another episode of Unleashing the Future of Work with your lovely host, Tim Salau. And today I'm here with my good friend, John Marty. And we actually want to talk about stress. John, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good.
What's
I'm
been
happy.
going on with you? How have you been hanging in there this week?
I've been hanging in there pretty good, man. We got
Yeah.
it's like Amazon planning for the upcoming year. And so speaking about stress, it's usually a little bit stressful, just trying to get all that stuff figured out. Like, what do I want to
Yeah.
do? How do I communicate what do I want to do? How do
Yeah.
I build a case for what I want to do so nobody rejects my idea?
And
Uh,
shoots it down.
that shoots it down. Yeah. But
Yeah.
there's peaks and valleys though, like throughout the week, throughout the day.
Yeah, no, dude, that's awesome to hear, man. And I think what's so important too is that everyone's working remotely now, and some people are working at home with their kids.
Yeah.
They have a wife, they have a husband,
Yeah.
or even more importantly, they have other things that they have to take care of outside of work.
Yeah.
So it's so easy to be stressed right now.
Oh yeah, it is, man. It is. I don't know. I don't know though, man. I don't know. So okay. So I want to get your thoughts on this.
Yeah.
My life has become way more simple
Really?
since the whole COVID-19 thing because I don't commute anywhere. Right? There's no I actually kind of find this whole thing fascinating. Like so I don't like have to go buy new clothes. Right?
Yeah.
Like I just because I never see anybody, so I never buy any new clothes. I don't really drive anywhere.
Yeah.
Right? Like we go to the grocery store like once a week. So our whole life has actually been condensed down to like very bare essentials.
Yeah.
And so I'm not commuting to an office, which is taking a whole bunch of time. I'm not going to a gym, which is taking a whole bunch of time per week. I'm doing my workouts at home.
Yeah.
Right. So actually, like when I really think about it, there's a lot more simplicity in my life. Like granted, terrible thing, COVID-19 in general, right? Like a lot of people don't have their jobs, but for anyone that does have their job, if they look at like pre and post COVID, you say to yourself, well, even if you're home, is your life actually simpler?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people would maybe say that it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
agree.
What are your thoughts on that, man? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I haven't seen a gas station in weeks now, almost. Because I've just been staying at home. So shout out to everyone that's tuning in. Please show love in the comments so I can shout you out for tuning in to this episode with John and I. Shout out to Sanaz, who's saying not needing more clothes is the strongest reason I hate COVID-19 because I have no excuse to do shopping. That is hilarious, Sanaz. And shout out to her. She's an architectural designer.
Oh, that's cool.
An architectural designer, which is pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, I think working remotely now too, everyone has to think about how they're managing their stress working remotely. That's right. And on today's episode, John and I really want to dive deep on one, how do you approach stress management now that you're a remote worker? Yeah. And I think one of the things that it starts with, because now that everyone's not physically together with your team, you actually want to make time for serendipitous collaboration. And I know, John, you working with Amazon, you all are all remote right now. How have you been doing that with your team? Because you have a really amazing team. You mentioned it before on the podcast.
Yeah, the team is awesome, man. We do live whiteboarding sessions in InVision. So you can do like collaborative whiteboarding sessions with different colors and things like that. And so we'll just be like mapping out user experience, talking through just as if we were live with each other.
Yeah.
And I think we often kind of get into this mindset of like, oh, well, we have to be in person. Like I have to do an in-person meeting, right? So I'll fly somewhere and take all that time to do all that stuff. And now because we have that constraint that we literally can't, we've all adapted and said, well, we have to be creative remotely. So how do we do it? And we do those things, just like simple whiteboarding sessions and ideation. And we even we did like a team happy hour yesterday. We were just like literally drinking beers at the end of the day by ourselves with the team. And we're all just like chatting about like stupid shit, because, like that, it's good. It's good to do that. type of.
Yeah, no, and it's almost like you all are bonding too by doing that.
Yeah, we are, man. We are. Man, it's
And
really good.
because you don't have that physical component anymore, so it's hard to bond. You don't have those water cooled conversations.
Yeah,
you can't just go and knock Patty on her back and say, "Hey, how's it going?
Yeah,
How's your husband?" Right?
No, you can't anymore. But like it also it's interesting because now
Shout out to Monale, who's saying, "I've been pretty intentional about keeping my life simple right now, but even more so now. I'm giving more of my time to people, not productivity, optimization, and all the other things we've been told are important."
Yeah. I think it's interesting too. Like we, I find myself being far more productive just in general. And I think there are different opinions on this. I'd love to hear your thought on this too. But like for me, I don't have those distractions. Like when I was in the office before, every day you go to the office and like you have like the random sidebar conversation that'll just like wipe out an hour or 2 hours of your day. Right. It's like the unintentional, hey, can I get your feedback on something? And then turns into like, what'd you do this weekend? And then turns into, a whole bunch of stuff. And so I actually find myself like right now for all the things that you and I do, I find myself having way more time. Like I'm getting more done at work. Wow. And then I have way more time on top of that to like film our YouTube videos and be writing and doing all the things on the side. Like my efficiency has like skyrocketed.
Wow. Dude, that's crazy, right? And I mean, I think that's the benefits of having your own space, and only just focusing on what's essential to you to work your best.
Yeah.
And one of the things you are also really good at, I think, when it comes to managing your stress, because you've shared this on LinkedIn before.
Yeah.
It's you actually schedule time to exercise at home with your kids. Yeah. And, for me, I'm not a big exercise buff. I'm trying to get to your level.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a full-time father, a full-time product manager. And I mean, I just work remotely. I'm building an organization, and I manage a community. I do a lot, but I still feel as if
man.
I don't make time enough to exercise, which I can. And for me, I think it's just a mindset thing. I haven't really. I'm blessed with a high metabolism right now.
Yeah.
But I think it's still. Yeah. But I love how cool it is that you actually incorporate it as kind of like a family thing. Talk to us a little bit more about that, man.
I mean, what I found myself doing, so I work out a couple days a week. And what I'll do is I'll know that certain meetings are happening during the day that I have to attend for work.
Yeah.
But I have to attend, but most meetings, it's more of just like passive listening. And if you've been on a team for a while, you kind of understand the cadence and the flow of things, right? You know what people are going to say, how long they're going to talk. You just know, and you just know, you have like a body of knowledge anyway, right? You know who's going to respond, who's not going to respond. So I just know which meetings those are. And I actually wind up doing my workouts during those meetings at work. Because I'll be like, okay, I could sit here and listen passively, or I could get up and do push-ups and do squats and burpees and like get a full on 30-minute workout done while I'm in a 1-hour meeting. And then like I'm done.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's interesting. It's like, you kind of think about something and you're like, I always love like questioning a situation and being like, am I really needed here? Question. No, not exactly. Yeah. Can I just pass listen? Okay. Yes. So what else can I do with my time? So I'm always like diving into 20 different whys with any situation. Why am I doing this? Do I need to be doing this? Can I be doing something else? Can I be more efficient? And then
a root cause analysis.
Dude, I do I'm doing a mental root cause analysis with pretty much everything I do.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. So what are some of your workout tips that have gotten you, that have kept you in shape right now as we are all working remotely?
Yeah. So I used to do all these, like, I used to, actually go to the gym and, do like a whole bunch of different like pull-ups and back workouts and like weights, like actual, weights. But I really don't have any weights right now. And it was funny, man. I went on Amazon and I tried to like buy a set of weights. I couldn't find any. Like worldwide, like weights are sold out because everybody's like, well, my gym is closed and I don't know when I'm ever going to get to go back. So like there was this mad dash to buy like weights and yoga mats and all this crap. So I don't have anything and I can't buy anything either. So I'm just like, okay, well, let me go down to the basics and I'll just do like I'll do, you know, a set of 40 push-ups and then a set of 20 push-ups and then I'll do a set of burpees and then I'll do a set of like tricep extensions on a chair in my living room. And I'll do like squats with no weight. And I do like shoulder exercise. Like I do anything that I can. And then sometimes I mix it up and I'll like watch a YouTube video and there'll be like a breakdown. So I just body weight, you know, just like random body weight stuff, man. As long as I'm moving and I'm getting exercise, like I'm just trying to keep myself maintained.
Dude, that's freaking phenomenal. So shout out to Edward, you have embodied your role as a PM completely.
Totally, man. Totally.
Isaac is saying, shout out to Isaac, who's a great friend of mine. I honestly feel more productive because I commute less and actually use that time. I'd be in traffic to invest in developing my mind by reading books. I hear that leaders are readers, so I'm just investing more time on reading books, not even related to CS. Shout out to you, Isaac, using this time for self-development.
Yeah, and you should, man. You should be reading books that are outside of your industry, man, because that's what breeds creativity.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Monale is saying, John, that is my favorite part of working from home. There are less interruptions from in-person interactions. Totally. Also, your commute time can now be used to do other things. And if you've ever met Monale, she's a very essential person. Like she's very focused on simplicity. She's well designed. So I could only imagine her. She's like, I am thankful to just be in my own space, to be able to focus and, you know, do my best work. Yeah, it's so funny. You mentioned distractions. I mean, I remember when I used to, I think it's funny now. We've shifted from a generation of working in cubicles. Now we're just all going to work from home probably for the next 10 years, man. Right? For a while, right? Until, you know, we're working in immersive reality or something. But it's just funny now that like people have so much control of their own space. Yeah. And, you know, I think to your point, we're going to see productivity increase throughout the nation because people are like, now I don't have to be around distractions at work. I don't have to talk to Sarah, who's always talking my ears off. As soon as I go by the water cooler, like people are really going to cherish this moment, man. So that's a positive. Brianna is saying hi from Dallas, Texas. Shout out to you, Brianna. Hey, what's up, Town? What's up? I am working from home. I feel as though my work time and home time have blended together. I feel you on that. I realize I'm doing more work and have a hard time separating work from home time. You know what? What do you think she should do about that, John? How can she be better at separating work from home time?
I don't know, man. I don't know if there's like a separation anymore, man. It's kind of like a blended thing, man. Like, everybody's around, right? And it's totally accepted to like have that, you know. Before it used to be like, oh, go away, you know, like I'm on a call, right? Like, oh, shh, you know. But now everybody's like, yeah, I got everybody, like everybody's here, you know. It's all good. It's everybody's here. And so like I get to eat lunch with the fam, you know, and you know, eating breakfast with the fam. And so I think it's like more of an integration, which is even more reason why we should, as this whole thing winds up panning out, you know, even more reason why we should be trying to do what we love, right? Because the work and the home are all integrated with each other. There is no separation. So you have to try to find that split, you know?
Yeah. I think one good piece of advice I would give you, Brianna, is try to create routines, as well as try to actually create a sense physically that you're working in a different environment, even though you're in your home. You know, I don't know what your home looks like, but really dedicate an actual space in your home for where you will do productive work or where you will focus and actually, you know, get work done, and ask your kids or your husband or your boyfriend, whoever, you know, is living with you, to respect that space. I think that's what I think a lot of people are doing that now, especially if you have kids and then you have laundry in the background and you have a husband who's also working as well. Like really say, this is going to be my working area. Partition that space physically, maybe with some items to make it feel as if it's an office. And then I think you want to start creating routines in a sense of maybe every morning you tell yourself you don't go directly to work. Instead, you take a 10-minute walk outside around your neighborhood, even though you're going back home to work. But it's just to kind of get you in the sense of like, I actually have maybe the similar schedule I have in terms of my working day when I used to work in the office. And I'm going to use that as a way to kind of create that separation time.
Yeah.
That buffer time between, 10 and 20 minutes of a walk, and then I get work done versus I immediately just wake up, make some eggs and go to work. Right. But I'm still in just that same environment. So you quickly taking yourself out of that context of I'm at home right now and saying, I'm just going to walk my neighborhood and feel as if like, I'm just getting some sun early in the morning, and then coming back into your home and saying, all right, now I'm going to cook some eggs and then go to work. That just gives you some buffer time to just seamlessly integrate into whatever focus work that you need to do. And I know that's easier said than done, but you're probably gonna have to experiment a little bit, see what works. But I think most importantly, create some space in your home, and then more importantly, create that buffer time and do some routines within that buffer time that seamlessly get to work. So shout out to you, Brianna. That's a really, really great question. Manale is also offering some great advice. I find that having a specific space for work helps. It sends a signal that once you're in that space, table and chair in the corner, you're working. Shout out to Manale for that. So, I think our last piece of advice for some of you who are really trying to manage your stress levels now that you're working remotely is set up an after work ritual.
Yeah.
Set up an after work ritual and think of it as like a huge goal something that you do, or some sort of like personal routine or a reward that you give yourself after every complete working day. John, what are your thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, it's good, man. I mean, for me, what I wind up doing is I have this task manager called Todoist. Yeah. And so what I wind up doing is I'll like look at all the tasks that are in that list, just like a typical PM would do, right? And I prioritize. And I go, okay, so here's all the things that are on my list, that are in my backlog, and here are the 3 things that I need to do tomorrow. And it really just kind of clears my mind and sets me up for success for the next day, because it allows me to just like jump right into work really easily the next day, because I know from the night before, like, oh, okay, these are the 3 things. And actually it's more like this is the one main thing that I want to focus on, literally just one thing, and then here are the 2 sub things that I might or might not get to, right? Like I want to focus on just like getting one major thing done. And I focus on I literally never check my email during my work day. Never.
Oh, that's good.
I never check my work email at all. People are like, oh, did you see my email? Because people are so reactionary to their email. Like, oh, did you check it? Did you check it? And I'm like, no, I didn't. I have no desire to. I will check that tomorrow. Right? Like I don't care. Like if you need me, then reach out to me. Because like everything, I think of everything from the perspective of like, what is the primary focus? Everything else is deprioritized. Email, totally worthless, totally worthless, totally worthless. Every single email, totally worthless. My main thing, number 1 priority. If I get that done, nothing else matters. And so like I just kind of funnel everything into that. And so that's the ritual, right? Like I'm done. My mind is clear. Laptop closed. Done.
Dude, I love that. That's so powerful. That's so powerful. So your after work ritual is not checking your email, but do you do something now that you work from home? Like after you get done with the working day, do you like go hug, your little boy? Do you go hug John, Raphael?
Yeah. So we So we wind up like going in the backyard, and doing stuff back there, so.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that. For me, I just go to sleep.
And you wake up at midnight and start working again?
I just take a nap.
What is Tim's after work, after nap, and then pre-work for the rest of the evening day?
Yeah, dude. It's literally like, okay, well, between maybe, because I try to wake up. I mean, now when you work remotely and you work for yourself, it's like, well, I can wake up whenever I want to. So from 10 to 3, I try to be my productive best. And then after that, I take a little buffer nap. Yeah. And then if I want to work later on at night, I do that because sometimes I'm really creative at night. Yeah. But a nap is amazing. That's like a great reward. It's like, oh my goodness, I'm actually done writing this document or doing all of the remote things that I'm doing. I just want to go to sleep now. All right. So
dude, I can't. I wonder what you guys think in the comments. Like if I take a nap, I will just be asleep the rest of the day. I can't do it.
I imagine people taking a nap while while on Zoom. They're like, they just knock out. Oh man, it's the next normal. It's the next normal.
Man. It is the next normal.
Shout out to Brianna, who is thanking us for our amazing advice and her currently working to adjust to this new reality and create new routines for herself. You go, Brianna. Let us know how it goes.
Totally.
With that said, thank you all so much for tuning into this episode. This is a Friday episode to just show you all love and give you all some tips on how do you really start managing your stress as a remote worker.
Yeah.
If you really, shout out to Lizzie who says power naps are so key. Thank you so much, Lizzie. If you love this UTFOW, a guide podcast episode, please share it with your networks and tag John and I on LinkedIn if you learned anything new from this episode. We will follow up with you. We will share your post. And more importantly, we will show you love. So make sure you tag John and I on your post that you share about this episode. And more importantly, if you are interested in being a guest or a sponsor on UTFOW, a guy podcast, check out UTFOW.com. UTFOW.com is where you can sign up to be a potential guest or sponsor for this live online podcast. With that said, thank you all so much for tuning in. John, what are your final words for people to help them manage their stress as a remote worker?
Oh, man. Final words.
Yeah.
Prioritize that task list. Right.
Prioritize that task.
Prioritize that task list, man, because it can get, for everybody, it's really long.
Yeah.
And if you recognize what is the most important task, then it's like the stress goes away. You know, the stress goes away. True. So that's it.
It's true. I love that, man. I love that. My power naps, to Lizzie's point, take power naps as much as possible. Power naps are amazing. And as our body is actually a regenerative organ. So if you really prioritize 6 to 7 hours, 7 to 8 hours for most people of sleep, or you take power naps throughout the day, it's a great way to just refresh and regenerate and, get to that next task or create that buffer time to you kind of like doing something else.
Yeah.
So that is my big tip. Power nap. I love napping. I love sleep. It's healthy. I don't take it for granted. So with that said, y'all, make sure you all apply these tips to making sure that you all manage your stress levels, especially as some of you all are managing work, your own maybe side business. I know Lizzie has a side business and Brianna, just this new normal, right? So shout out to you all for tuning in. Thank you once again. If you want to be a guest or sponsor on UTFOW.com, please check out UTFOW.com. With that said, peace, love, and we'll talk to you all next week. Peace, y'all.
Later, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.